Can you guys hear me now? How about now? Yes. Okay, I don't know why. Give me 1 minute, guys. I just want to figure something out. So new mic. Oh. Can you? All right, guys. Well, you can hear me now, right? All right. Well, I bought this fancy dancy microphone, if you can see, but I don't know why it won't work with the microphone. So we'll just use the computer and we'll just look at the microphone and we'll just pretend that this microphone apparently is working, and then I'll have my fiance figure it out later. Sound good? No one will know if this microphone's actually working or not, right? All right, everyone. But isn't it pretty? Isn't this pink microphone beautiful? Anyways, hi everyone. Welcome. Oh my goodness. I'm only your reflection. Ooh, hold on, give me 1 minute. All right. Okay, make it look a little cleaner. All right, I am here. I am present. I am fully with you guys now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for you. Thank you for coming just as you are. I accept you as you are. I see you as you are. And I love you as you are. Let me know if this is anyone's first time joining me. If this is your first time live with me. If it is, welcome. My name is Generous Janetti. I am a love coach. I am a heartbreak healing coach and a transcendental coach. I help people to ascend their trauma into spiritual awakening and higher states of love. My passion is spirituality and unconditional love, bringing people back to the state of what would it look like if we loved people without condition? What if we walked upon this world without feeling trauma and pain and hurt? And what if we just honored our pain? And what if we honored the hurt that we felt as just a part of our journey here on earth? What if we learned to embrace it instead of shame it? So I am on a mission to help the world. I'm on a mission to guide and teach and love and lead. So thank you guys so much for joining today. I am so beyond grateful. Today we are talking about forgiveness, finding inner peace, and healing our wounds. And I started this talk on Friday, and then I actually had to cut it a little bit short if you were here on Friday. Some of it will be a little bit of repeat, but it will also be new. And so today we have a little bit longer together. So I want you guys to tell me in the chat, what does forgiveness mean to you? How do you define forgiveness? What would it look like to actually forgive? What would it look like to be forgiven? What would it feel like to live in this vibration of forgiveness? Put it in the chat. Let me know. And so the way that today and all of my lives work is we will start with just opening our circle, opening us into community, followed by a little talk I will give, and then we will do a question and answer and a meditation. Okay? So I'm going to invite everyone right now to just close down your eyes for just a second and just shut off the perception of the world around you and come into your own sense of self, your own sense of knowing. And take a deep breath into this moment. Take a deep breath out, awakening into this presence, breathing in and breathing out. And starting to shut off your perception of this reality and just come inward. Come into you, into deeper intimacy with yourself. Seeing into yourself. Intimacy. Into me you see. Come into this. Breathe into this. Breathe out. Take a deep breath and just come into your heart, bringing all of your awareness to your heart. And just notice, how does your heart feel? Maybe placing your hands on your heart, noticing your heartbeat. And breathing into this sacred space, the sacred love. And just start to reflect on this idea of forgiveness, this idea of peace, this idea of healing. And without judgment, just reflect upon, where have you not forgiven another? Where do you not feel peace? Where do you still seek healing? And breathe into this. And breathe out. And start to send your heart a beautiful crystalline white light, filling up your heart, helping to heal your heart, softening your heart. Filling up your whole body now with this light, allowing this light to expand and extend. And then imagine that you are gathered here with everyone that's on this live. That you're gathered here with everyone who is on Insight, everyone who will watch this later on YouTube. And just start to send this light that you anchored into your own heart, into your own body, out to everyone that's here. Bringing together this collective consciousness of love, this collective consciousness of unity, this collective consciousness of forgiveness, peace, and healing. And breathe into it. And breathe out. And starting to come back into this moment. However you're feeling, whatever is resonating with you. Just allow yourself to come back into this space just as you are. Fully loved, fully accepted, fully embraced. And take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. Welcome back, beautiful souls. Welcome back. So, everyone, let me know, what does forgiveness mean to you? What does it mean to forgive? And I want to try this microphone one more time, see if it works. If it doesn't work, let me know, okay? I'm going to try it one more time. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Can you hear me? Yes, no? Okay, I know you guys can hear me now. You couldn't. Okay. All right, we're going to keep it. I'm not going to change it. I surrender. So let me know in the chat. Please talk to me. Please communicate with me. Please connect with me. Don't leave me hanging. But what does forgiveness mean to you? What would your life look like if you actually forgave? What would this life look like if there was actually nothing to forgive? Imagine a world for just a moment where there was no one to forgive because we recognize that everyone's doing the best that they can with where they're at. Imagine a world where we're not feeling hurt or angry or pain over another's actions and other words. But we're just fully taking responsibility for our own life experience. How different would the life be? Imagine that. So, my intention for today is to help us to explore this transformative power of forgiveness. To dive deep into this idea of forgiveness. So please talk to me, please communicate with me. I'm looking between screens right now, but I'm fully present with you guys. And the way in which I define forgiveness is it's a conscious choice to release resentment and to let go of emotion. Forgiveness is not condoning or forgetting the hurtful actions that someone has caused to us. Forgiving is not justifying someone's behavior or making their behavior or their words or their actions okay. Forgiveness is not an example of someone physically hurting you and then you're forgiving them by validating that them physically hurting you is okay. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is letting go of the burden of our anger. It's letting go of the burden of our resentment. It's letting go and choosing to free ourselves from the pain in which we feel, from one's actions, from one's behaviors. Is this resonating? Let me know. Please talk to me. Please communicate with me. And so I want you to just throughout this, I want you to bring to your mind someone who you're not forgiving. Someone who it's been really, really difficult for you to forgive. And feel free to put them in the chat to just bring them into this space. Whether it's their name or mom or dad or whatever it is. And just ask yourself, what would it feel like if you truly let go of the resentment that you hold for them? How free would you feel? How much more peace would you feel? Because the truth is, us not forgiving people, it doesn't actually hurt the other person. It's hurting ourselves. When we choose to live in anger and frustration and sadness and bitterness and resentment, it hurts us. And we have this human tendencies, tell me if you guys agree or not, but we have this human tendency that we get mad and we think that if we just stay mad at someone long enough, if we just stay angry at someone long enough, if we just stay bitterness with someone long enough, that they will learn. They will get it. They will understand how deeply they hurt us and how frustrated they made us. We think that by us being angry, it's going to cause people more anger and then they're going to get it. But that's not actually how it works. What ends up happening is we get angry and we get frustrated with the subconscious belief that if we get angry or frustrated enough, it's going to hurt the other person, but really it just hurts us. Really, it's just hurting us. Really, it just causes more distress and pain to our own being. Because the truth is, you don't want to be mad. You don't want to be angry. You don't want to be sad. You don't want to be bitter, because you know that that's bringing you out of peace. You know that every time you think of that person, you're getting out of alignment. You know that every single time you think about that person, it brings up anger, and then in that anger, you get in this spiral pattern in your head where now you're not focusing on your job. Now your money's being affected. Okay, now your money's being affected and you can't live the life that you want. Then it's affecting your other relationships, because now you're mad at your ex-boyfriend for cheating on you 3 years ago, and now you're in a relationship with this guy, and you're taking it out on the relationship you have now because that other guy cheated on you, and you're treating him like he cheated on you, and he didn't actually cheat on you, and you're accusing him of cheating on you when he never even cheated on you, and now he's mad and you're mad, and it's affecting your relationship, and it's causing this chain reaction. All because you can't forgive your ex-boyfriend, as an example. It doesn't actually hurt our ex-boyfriend. It doesn't actually hurt our mother or our father or whoever or our friend that we're holding the resentment towards, our boss. It hurts us. It causes a chain reaction with us. Right? Agree or disagree? Yes, I really like what you say. This is my first time. Welcome, Yana. Welcome. Yes, I'm leaning, my previous belief systems about forgiveness is something I'd like to change. I'd like to create a new belief, but you're doing it right now. So what if we learned to let go, to free ourselves, to free our new partners, our new relationships, to free our financial system? What would it feel like to be free? So those benefits of forgiveness, the actual benefits of forgiveness, those psychological and emotional benefits of forgiveness, such as it's scientifically proven. It's not just this spiritual idea of like let it go, but it's actually scientifically proven that when we forgive, it reduces our stress, it improves our well-being, it increases our self-esteem. Science has shown that it helps our health by lowering our blood pressure, and it reduces heart disease. It enhances our immune function. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Because if we're constantly in this loop in our head of I'm so angry because I'm going to use an example of a past partner cheating on us or hurting us. If we're in this constant loop of that person hurt me, or all men cheat, or I'm just going to be abused, or why did they hurt me, or why did they treat me this way, and how could they have done this to me? You're literally flowing blood to your brain. And in you flowing blood to your brain, you're causing yourself stress. And in you causing yourself stress, you now have lower self-esteem. And now because you have lower self-esteem, now you're hurting your well-being. And because you're hurting your well-being, it's now affecting your immune system. And now you're actually physically getting sick. All because you haven't let it go. So by forgiving, it not only frees our mental from constantly thinking, and not only frees our heart from letting go of the heaviness that we're carrying, it not only lightens our spiritual being, but it also benefits our body. And we actually store trauma. We actually store our wounds, and these wounds of non-forgiveness, and these wounds of trauma and abandonment and fear and neglect and all of these things in our body. It creates disease. Disease is dis-ease manifested. And when you don't deal with the dis-ease that you feel mentally, then it turns into dis-ease that you feel emotionally. And then when you don't deal with the dis-ease that you feel emotionally, it then manifests physically in your body. And so to prevent ourselves from physically getting sick, we have to become a little bit lighter. We have to learn to forgive. Now, all of this sounds great, doesn't it, right? And you're like, yes, Jenna, But how the hell do I do it? Excuse my language, right? Is anyone like, okay, Jenna, great. I get it. Like, yeah, I get it. But how do I do it? I've been trying. I'm 40 years old. I don't know how to do it. I'm 30 years old. I don't know how to do it. I'm 70 years old. I've been trying my whole life. How do I do it? Yeah, it's frustrating, right? Because you want to let go. No one wants to hold on to this pain and resentment. So the way in which we learn to forgive is first and foremost, you acknowledge the pain and the hurt. You acknowledge it. You acknowledge that your pain is valid. You acknowledge the impact of your hurtful experience. You acknowledge that your partner cheating on you really hurts you. You acknowledge that you feel abandoned by your parents. You acknowledge that you don't know if you can trust the Lord. You acknowledge that you have a feeling of unworthiness. You acknowledge that the words that someone did and said was not kind and was not good and was not nice. You validate your emotions and you allow space for the healing. You allow it to be there, first and foremost. Because as we all know, we can't keep stuffing things down. It's kind of like a Jack-in-the-Box. Who remembers those Jack-in-the-Box toys? And you wind it, and it's like another thing comes up, and another thing comes up, and you never know when it's going to pop out. But eventually, you can hide the bitterness, you can hide the sadness, you can hide the anger in the box. But then life is the rotation. Pop! And then the Jack pops out of the box. That's what happens with us. Is we can only stuff our emotions and our feelings and our pain and our resentment and our anger and our bitterness and our rage for so long. But then eventually life keeps turning. Life keeps rotating. And then pop! Oh, there's the unforgiveness. Oop, pop, there's the rage. Oh, now you're spiraling. Oop, there's the sadness. Oop, there's the bitterness. Oop, there's the guilt. Does this resonate? Who sometimes feels like their emotions are a Jack-in-the-Box? Who's going to now use that metaphor for your emotions? That was pretty good. So, we have to first acknowledge it. We have to first be willing to go into the darkness. Listen, I'm going to be completely honest. There's so many spiritual teachers right now. There's so many coaches and teachers and leaders that are saying, oh, just you manifest your own reality. Don't look at the anger. Don't look at the pain. Don't look at the abuse. Don't do it. Just quantum jump into a reality where you didn't get abused. Quantum jump into a reality where you didn't get cheated on. Just don't look at it. You don't get there from going there. Trust me. You can quantum jump. Trust me. There's infinite parallel realities, and I am one to practice getting into other dimensions and times and space, and I'm a transcendental coach, and it's real. It's all real. But what happens is if you let go without acknowledging the pain, Newton's first law of physics is what? Who can tell me what's Newton's first law of physics? Energy is neither created or destroyed. So even if you quantum jump or you forget the pain or you don't look at the pain or you don't look at the resentment, eventually that's energy that's going to come back when you skate into another frequency. You can forget how hurt you feel over your ex-boyfriend cheating on you, but then all of a sudden when you enter into a new relationship, it comes back up again because you didn't resolve it. And the way in which you resolve it is by facing it. You have to be willing to walk into the darkness. And it's not easy. And it's scary. And it's terrifying. And maybe you'll find a clown or a jokester or whatever. And making stuff up. But you have to be willing to go into the darkness. You have to be willing to feel it. You have to be willing to cry over it. You have to be willing to rage over it. You have to be willing to face it. So step one in the forgiveness process is acknowledge it. See it. Validate it. Allow space for it. And only then, only after you've accepted where you're at, and you don't get $1 million by not acknowledging that you didn't once have $1 million. You don't get a husband by not acknowledging that you were once single. You have to acknowledge, oh, I'm single, to then say, oh, I want a husband. You have to acknowledge, I don't have $1 million, to then want $1 million. So you have to be willing to acknowledge, I haven't yet forgiven this person, to then forgive the person. So acknowledge it. Once you acknowledge it, you then can let it go. You then can release it. You then can let go of the resistance and the resentments and release the negative emotions. And the way in which you release it, I'm going to give you a few different suggestions if you're taking notes. The first one is to practice self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your emotions and identify the root cause of your resentment. Understand the impact it has had on your well-being and your relationships. This is self-awareness, and it's the first step of letting go. Actually reflect on it. Feel it. Journal about it. Acknowledge it. See where your life could have gone. Next, express your emotions. I have tons and tons and tons of tools, like emotional release tools. If you guys are interested, send me a message and I can actually do a live on this one day. I think it would actually be really helpful to teach you guys emotional release tools. But find healthy ways to express your emotions. This can mean by emotional release tools, which some of them are like pillow punching, right? Or tantrums, throwing a tantrums. Like, we store energy in our body. We store sadness and guilt and pain in our body, and actually moving our body, practicing somatics, heals the wounds. So actually doing release tools. Talking to a coach or a therapist or a friend or a family member. Write in a journal. Engage in creative outlets like art or music. Sing songs. Express your emotions through the sad songs or happy songs. Express your feelings and allow for release, will then give you clarity. But be able to actually express it and vocalize it and talk about it and let it go. Like, physically, to actually forgive and to let go, you have to actually let go. Let go out of your vocal cords. It's stored in your throat. It's stored in your body. Let it go and don't worry about it manifesting in a negative way. Just let it go. Next, cultivate empathy and compassion for yourself and for the other person. One thing that I didn't mention, and I probably should have mentioned this first and foremost, but let's be completely honest. We're not actually mad at the other person. We're mad at ourselves. Who can resonate with that? We need to forgive ourselves. Before we can forgive the other person, we have to be willing to forgive ourselves. We have to be willing to forgive ourselves for being in that situation. We have to stop condemning ourselves. We have to stop being prisoner to our own thoughts and feelings of thinking, oh, if only I did this, or if only I took that step, or if only I would have changed this, then that wouldn't have happened, or they wouldn't have hurt me, or maybe if I would have just put up a shield, they wouldn't have been able to punch me. Forgive yourself. Before you can forgive anyone else, you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself that you don't have enough money in the bank. Forgive yourself for not having the relationship that you want. Forgive yourself for being sick. Forgive yourself Stop beating yourself up because you have cancer. Stop beating yourself up because you're single. Stop beating yourself up because you don't know how you're going to pay rent. Forgive yourself and recognize that you've done the best that you can. Have compassion, have kindness, have love for yourself. Give the love back to yourself and recognize that you've done the best that you can. Let it go within yourself. Cultivate the empathy and compassion for yourself. And then, and only then, can you have the empathy and compassion for the other person. To try to understand the perspective of the other person who hurt you. You have to literally, as cliche as it sounds, put yourself in their shoes and consider the factors that may have influenced their actions. This practice of empathy and compassion will help soften your resentment and foster understanding. Hurt people hurt people. No one who has been hurt, let me phrase that differently. If someone's hurting, they hurt other people. If you're not hurting inside, you can't hurt another person. Just as you can't love anyone if you don't have love to give. Just as I can't give you a gift that I don't have, it's the same with our pain and our anger. It's like this game of like hot potato. Who remembers the game of hot potato? It's like, hot, pass it, hot, pass it, hot, pass it. Until one person decides, I don't have to pass the hot potato to a person. I can just let the hot potato fall on the ground. And a wise person who has done the work will say, hot potato, ooh, ground, not passing the hot potato to that person. But recognize that if you got past a hot potato, a metaphor, if you got past some hurt, recognize that they passed that hurt because they were hurting themselves. No one can give you what they don't have, positively and negatively. Recognize what may have led, maybe their childhood or their own fears or their own lack of forgiveness. Often, they say with like parenthood that you either become your parents when you're a parent or you become the opposite of your parent when you become a parent. Because it's taught, it's learned. So try to cultivate some kind of empathy and compassion to recognize that person who hurt you, who did you wrong, was also hurt and done wrong by someone else. Next, practice meditation, forgiveness meditation, to cultivate forgiveness towards yourself and others. Visualize the person that you hold resentment towards and mentally offer them forgiveness. Do this for yourself. You can repeat affirmations and mantras such as, I release my resentment and I choose to forgive. And the truth is, the secret is, you don't actually have to know how you're going to let go of the resentment. You don't have to know how you're going to forgive. You don't even have to know how you're going to stop being so angry at the other person. But just the fact that you state to the universe, hey, I want to release the resentment. I want to release the anger. I want to release the frustration. It allows the universe, it allows spirit to come in and show you how to do it. If you want something in your life, you have to ask the universe questions. You have to be curious. And the universe is always going to answer. If you phrase to the universe, hey, why am I so angry and bitter? You're going to get more, why I'm so angry and bitter, you're going to get more proof of you being angry and bitter. But if you phrase it as, how do I release my anger and my bitterness, then the universe is going to show you ways to release your anger and your bitterness and forgive. Our words are spells. Our words are magic. So just stating, hey, I want to release this. I want to forgive. I will release this. I am releasing this. It will move you towards that. Next, write a forgiveness letter. And this is my favorite. Write a letter to the person who's hurt you and express all of your feelings and all of your thoughts without filter. And clearly articulate how their actions have impacted you. And then after you do that, you can then choose whether to send it or not send it. But the act of writing helps to catalyze and assist in the process of letting go. Because what's happening when you're writing is you're letting it go out of your mind, you're letting it go out of your spirit, and you're physically manifesting the words on a piece of paper, and you're physically changing the energy form. So the energy was once in your mind, and the energy is now on the paper. It's now in written form on the paper. And so one thing I recommend you do, and depending how deep the wound goes, write this letter, and I recommend, this is only a recommendation, that the first letter, you actually burn it. I recommend that you don't actually give the first letter to the person. That you write it for your own healing, and then you burn it. And then just like you transferred the energy onto the paper, through the process of actually catching it on fire and burning it, you then are releasing more energy, releasing more bitterness. And that's helping in the process of forgiveness. And from that place, you will notice that a lot of the resentments and sadness and bitterness and frustration and guilt and all of these feelings that you're feeling will start to lessen. And then from that place, write another letter, or pick up the phone, or visit the person, or however you want to do it, and then address it with the other person from this place of, I've already gotten out all the spikiness of the letter, because maybe in the first letter, maybe you threw out a lot of F-bombs. Maybe in the first letter, you weren't very nice. Maybe in the first letter, you were mean and you were harsh and you were brutal to the other person. And you don't want to hurt them again. So by releasing that and then writing another letter, it will soften you so that it's a little bit kinder. You're still saying, hey, I feel hurt. Hey, I feel abandoned. But now I'm feeling a little bit better, so it's not as harsh. Does that make sense? And feel free to ask any questions. We're going to have a question and answer after this, so make sure to put that in the chat. Next, seek support. Consider getting a coach. I am a coach. Me, someone else. Get a therapist. Find a friend. Find a family member that you can actually talk to. Find someone who specializes in emotions and emotional healing and forgiveness, like I, who can actually hold sacred space for you through this forgiveness process. Find someone that can provide the guidance and the techniques and a safe space for you to process and to release the emotions. This past weekend, I had a sisters gathering here at my house, and I had 8 beautiful women at my house. And I led them through this huge workshop in letting go of their anger towards other women. It was tailored towards the pain that women have caused other women. It was this workshop that was called Sister Separation to Sister Support. And the whole workshop was literally letting go of the frustration and the guilt and the manipulation and the jealousy that women have felt with other women for God knows how long, and coming into sisterhood, support, love. And so I led these women through exercises and emotional release tools to release all of these feelings that they're feeling. So I recommend that you do the same. Next is self-care. The truth is, you can't take care of anyone if you don't first take care of yourself. Self-care is crucial for letting go of your resentments, taking care of your physical and your emotional and your mental well-being, and prioritize activities that bring you joy and relaxation and peace. Okay? And so, as I discussed before, these are some techniques that you can use. By reflection, expressing your emotions, cultivating empathy and compassion, practicing forgiveness meditation, writing letters, seeking support, and you guys just being here, you being on this live, is you taking the step to learn to forgive. You're doing it. Can you just give yourself a round of applause to yourself? You're doing good. You're doing good. And so you have to be willing to forgive yourself in the healing process. I talked about this before, and I feel like it's really, really, really important to mention this again. That in order to forgive anyone else, you have to forgive yourself. You have to give yourself the self-compassion. You have to let go of the self-blame. Stop blaming yourself for what happened to you. Sometimes it just happens. It just happens. You have to be willing to forgive yourself. And so again, you can do this through meditation and mindfulness, and do this by challenging your negative self-talk. Notice when self-blame thoughts come up and become more compassionate and realistic in your statements. Remind yourself that making a mistake is part of the human journey, and that your mistakes do not define your worth and value as a person. I'm going to repeat that again. Your mistakes do not define your worth and your value. Your money in your bank account does not define your worth and value. Your partner, you being married, does not define your worth and value. Your health does not define your worth and value. It's an indicator of how much you think you're worthy and how valuable you think you are, but it doesn't define it. You are worthy. You are valuable because you are worthy and you are valuable. It's that simple. You have to know it. You have to feel it. You have to experience the love that you are. You came into this world as a loving being. You came into this world filled with love and compassion and love. You did not come into this world hating yourself. Hatred is taught. I got into this huge, oh my goodness, guys. I was so mad this weekend. As I was fighting racism, and I was so mad. I can feel it in my blood. I was so frustrated over the state of the world and how we're still experiencing racism in 2023. And I don't even know where I was going with this. I lost my train of thought, but I was saying that hatred is taught. Racism is taught. Self-hatred is taught. Self-blame is taught. You didn't come in with that. And start to practice self-kindness. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to the person you love, to a family member, to your child. What if you started to treat yourself as you would your child? If your child is learning to walk and your child falls down when they're learning to take their first steps, you don't scream at them and say, "Why did you fall down when you're taking your first step? You should know better. You should know how to walk. How could you not be walking right now? You're 6 months old. How can you not walk yet?" No, you would never say that to your child. If your child falls down, you're going to celebrate the one step that they took. And then they're going to get back up and you're going to celebrate that they took 2 steps. Celebrate the little steps that you're taking. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Because you deserve it. You're beautiful. Offer yourself words of encouragement and understanding and support. Practice self-care activities like nourishing and giving yourself the care that you want. Cultivate self-acceptance. Can you accept yourself? Can you accept that you were in a relationship with someone and you got hurt? Can you accept that you loved so deeply, that your love was so beautiful, and that you are strong and brave to love as deeply as you loved? And in the end, you got a little bruised. You got a little wounded. Can you accept that love that you felt for that person was worth it, even in the pain? Can you not accept that? Can you accept that you learned something and that it helped you grow and it helped you to evolve? Can you embrace yourself fully, including all of your flaws, your imperfections, and all of your past mistakes? Can you recognize that everyone makes errors and that growth comes from learning and evolving? Can you accept yourself as a work in progress and a work of art? Can you see yourself as a gorgeous masterpiece, worthy of love and worthy of compassion and worthy of kindness and worthy of beauty? Can you open your eyes and say, this is me? You know what the greatest form of self-love is? And please, talk to me. Talk to me. Communicate with me. Ask me questions. Do you know what the greatest form of self-love is? The greatest form of self-love is being able to stand completely naked in the mirror. Completely vulnerable, completely open, and look in the mirror with all of your extra weight, all of your cellulite, all of your neck chin, all of the acne all over your face, your hair just all over the place, and seeing your flaws, seeing the things you don't like about yourself, and saying, I love you. You are beautiful. I accept you. I accept the 20 pounds that are overweight. I accept the frizzy hair. I accept the acne on the skin. I accept you, and I love you. And I love you so much that I accept you, that after we get out of this meal and we get dressed, we're going to get dressed, and we're going to take our little booty to the gym. And we're going to work out. And we're going to eat good. And we're going to get on a diet plan. And we're going to work out. And we're going to be compassionate to ourselves. Self-love is saying, I accept myself just as I am. I love myself just as I am. And I'm going to get better. And I'm going to grow. And I'm going to evolve. And I'm going to expand. And I'm not going to stay the same. True love is saying, I love myself and I accept myself just as I am. And I'm still going to become better. I'm not going to just stay where I'm at. That's true love. That's true self-love. So next, have that growth mindset. Adapt a growth mindset that focuses on learning and growth rather than dwelling on past failures. Look at the mistakes, look at the hurts, look at the pain. And say, well, you know what? I grew in that relationship. I grew in that experience. I grew with that failure. I grew with that person who hurt me and stabbed me in the back. I grew in it. I became a different person in that experience. It made me better. It made me come into self-love. It made me come into self-compassion. Embrace the belief that mistakes are an opportunity for growth, and that personal development is a lifelong journey. You're never going to get there. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys. wherever you want to go, it's never done. You're gonna get the goal. You're gonna get what you intended. You're gonna get to where you wanted to go. And by the time that you got to where you wanted to go, you're then gonna want to be on to the next goal. You're going to want the $1 million. And then by the time you actually get the $1 million, you're going to be like, oh, I'm reaching for the 5 million. And then you're going to get the 5 million. And then you're going to be like, oh, no, I'm on to the 10 million. And then you get the 10 million and you're like, ooh, wanna what? I actually overdid it. I just want to be a hippie nomad and sell all of my stuff and live in a tent. And then you're going to sell all your stuff and live in a tent. Like, you're never going to get there. You're going to get there. And when you get there, I recommend that you stop, you appreciate, you have gratitude, you celebrate yourself for achieving it, and you rest, relax, and rest. And take in that you got what you wanted, and then recognize that the life is still smiling. You're still walking down the path. You're not done. And even when you die, I mean, I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong, who knows, I don't know. But I'm assuming that when we die, there's still more growth that needs to be done in the spiritual world, and we need to learn the lessons and maybe get reincarnated, and who knows, the great mystery of life, I won't claim to know. But I would assume that the journey's never over. Because what happens when it's winter? What happens when the trees die? What happens when all the leaves fall away? What happens when it gets cold? Well, spring comes again and the flowers come back up and then the cycles repeat. Everything's a cycle. So the journey's never done. So you might as well just develop this growth mindset of one way, I'm just always growing. Seek support. Reach out to friends and family and professionals who can provide support and self-judgment. And non-judgment, not self-judgment. You want people that are going to be in non-judgmental space. And share your struggles and feelings of self-blame. Allow yourself to completely rip yourself open and be raw and vulnerable and honest. And allow others to be compassionate and understanding and guide you. You can't get it wrong. And I'm telling you guys, if you need any help, I'm here. This is what I do. And I love doing it. I love being a cushy, comfy, person who can hold people and love people and remind you that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of respect. You are simply worthy to let go and to forgive. Engage in self-reflection and reflect on the circumstances that led to your self-blame and explore alternate perspectives. Consider the external factors and influences that contributed to your situations. Allow yourself to view it in a greater understanding and compassion. I recommend that you take yourself out of seeing the situation, the hurt, from this point of view of you looking at it, and literally take yourself out of it and see yourself as a higher being. See yourself as someone looking down on the situation. See yourself as someone who's observing the situation. See yourself, put yourself 10 years into the future and see the situation from 10 years into the future. The truth is, guys, I'm a heartbreak coach. That's what I do. I'm specialized in helping people to heal their heartbreak. I'm specialized in helping people to overcome their traumas. And I can be honest and open with you guys that if you would have told me 15 years ago, if I'm looking back at 15 years ago, brokenhearted and hurt over being cheated on and being abused and being abandoned and being neglected, I couldn't understand from that lens why every single man that I loved didn't love me back. I didn't understand 15 years ago why every time I met someone they left. I didn't know why, and I felt unloved, and I felt unworthy, and I felt unwanted, and I felt undeserving. I felt unattractive. I felt ugly. I felt all of those things. I felt lonely. And now, 15 years later, I can look back at that version of me and I can say, you have to go through this. I can't save you. And I will be honest, I wouldn't go back and save 15-year-old me. I will go back and I will hold her and I will kiss her and I will love her and I will comfort her. But I will not take away the struggles that she's experiencing, because me now, I know that she needs to go through all of the heartbreak that she experiences through her life, because it leads to this version of me leading you guys, me teaching you guys, me engaged to the love of my life. I wake up every single morning next to my fiance, and I promise you, I say to myself almost every morning, thank God it didn't work out with anyone else. And I realize now why it didn't work out with anyone else. I realize why I had to get heartbroken. I realize now why I had to be cheated on. I realized why I literally was in a relationship where I left the relationship with 2 black eyes, bruises all over my body, my emotions, my heart, my spirit. Because all of those relationships led me to self-love. First and foremost, before they led to my fiance, they led me to self-love. They led me to me loving me, because one, what? I didn't love myself 15 years ago. I hated myself. I thought I loved myself, but believe me, I didn't, looking back. And it led me to self-love. It led me to spirit, consciousness. And once I was in this place of higher consciousness, once I was in this place of, I love me, I love Jenna Rose, and I don't need anyone to love me, it led me to my fiance. And I can tell you, he was in my life years before I even recognized that he was my fiance. I couldn't even see him. Like literally, I was in a kaleidoscope. And I couldn't even see that he was the person I wanted to marry, because I was so in my journey of self-love that I couldn't even recognize him. I remember once, on a side note, I remember someone saying to me a couple years ago, you wouldn't recognize your soulmate if they were right in front of you. And I was like, yes, I will. Well, literally, he was right in front of me. He was in my life at that time. And so what I'm saying in this story is that we have to be willing to see a greater lens. We might not understand why we're at where we're at. We might not know why that person hurt us and why we're so angry and why we can't forgive. But give it a couple years and you'll see it clearly. You'll see it clearly. You need to go through that to get where you're going. Forgive yourself. Practice self-forgiveness by acknowledging that you are human. It's natural to make mistakes. Release the self-blame and choose to forgive yourself for the past actions and push these shortcomings. When we don't forgive, it's never the other person. We're hurting ourselves. And so I'm going to read through these comments. I was on a tangent. I need someone to yell beautiful things at me this morning. And I'm in a huge journey towards forgiveness right now, towards myself and other people. So thank you for this. You are beautiful, and you are worthy, and you are wanted, and you are deserving, and you are powerful, and you are magnificent. And I don't believe in you. I don't believe in you. I don't believe in you. I know in you. I know in you. I know in you. I know you will get there. I know you will achieve it. I know that wherever you're at, if you're laying on the floor, that you will eventually, when you decide that you are done laying on the floor, you're going to get up, you're going to walk, you're going to run, you're going to ride that bike. You are good enough. You are more than enough. You are love. You are worthiness. You are respected. I'll keep yelling beautiful things at you. You just let me know what you need. Because you are beautiful. Wake up. Wake up. You're beautiful. You're loving, you're worthy. I see you. I can't physically see you, but I can imagine seeing all 80 of you guys gathered here. And I'm just, take this love and take some love and take some love. Let it go. Just let it go. Feel loneliness, yeah. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I'm actually going to light some sage real quick, guys, actually. Give me 1 minute. I just want to light some sage. I got my handy dandy lighter. Okay. All men I know have abandoned me. Yeah. And so I just have, I have a new course that just came out. I'm so excited. I worked my little tushy off on this course, Heal Heartbreak, Find Love. And it's a course for anyone who has experienced heartbreak, who's going through a breakup, who's looking to manifest their life partner, who's looking to let go of this story that all men abandon you, that to let go of the loneliness and the fear and the hurt and the frustration and move you into deeper states of love. And so the course, you guys can actually go on it right here. It's on Insight Timer. It's free for anyone who has premium. If you don't have premium, side note, Insight Timer has a 7-day free trial. So it'll be free. Sign up for the trial period. But it's being officially launched on the dashboard. If you go on my dashboard, you can't see it yet. But tomorrow at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will be launched. So check that out. It will help you. Jeffrey, there was really a few of us good ones. My beautiful darling of 26 years has been through some bad stories before we dated. Listen to Jenna. She's right. Oh, yeah, beautiful. And listen, take what resonates and throw away what doesn't. Honestly, take what resonates and throw away what doesn't. A true teacher, a true coach says, this is my life experience. This is what I've gone through. And maybe it's not yours. Maybe in your mind, I'm too woo-woo. I'm too out there. You don't resonate. It's not your teaching. That's okay. Challenge it. Think for yourself. It's great that you guys are resonating with this. Thank you. I'm so glad that I can help you. And if it's not resonating with you, yay! I'm so glad it's not resonating with you, because that tells me that you're thinking for yourself. Don't take what people tell you. Take a nugget of what they tell you and then check in with yourself and say, how does that feel in my being? True teachers will never, ever, ever, ever say, this is the only way. True teachers will say, this is one way, and there's many. There's many different religions because there's many different ways. So, but I recommend you do that course. Okay, and the last part is peace. Peace. So, I'm bringing it down a little bit. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I went a little Tony Robbins on you guys with my energy. And so once we get to this place of letting go of all of this pain and forgiving, we can come into cultivating inner peace by finding meaning and lessons in the pain. Find meaning and lessons within the challenging experience. Like I stated, I recognize now why it didn't work out with anyone else. I recognize how I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be this ego healing heartbreak coach if I didn't live through heartbreak. I wouldn't be a trauma coach if I didn't experience trauma. I wouldn't help people to awaken their inner child if I didn't have a wounded inner child. I wouldn't have found my fiance if I hadn't gone where I was going. I needed all of that to get where I'm going, and you need what you're going through to get where you're going. It's not easy to accept it, but I believe that's the truth. I think that's the one way, but I don't know. So find meaning in it. Recognize in every situation, what did you learn? When you walked away from that partner who hurt you, what lesson did you learn? When your mom and your dad abandoned you as a kid and now you're 40 years old and you're still resentful, what did that make you learn? Reframe and embrace your personal growth as opportunities. And reflect on the lessons that you learned from your past wounds and how those experiences have contributed to your personal growth and to who you are. Practice gratitude and acceptance. If you've been with me, I'm always talking about gratitude. Gratitude and acceptance is inner peace. We might not like where we're at, but we can be grateful for where we're at. You might want a bigger house or a different location. And you can want a different house while still being grateful that you have a house over your head. You can want a partner that's nicer to you while appreciating the partner you have now. You can want to heal your cancer and not have cancer by having gratitude that there's other parts of your body that's not sick. Have gratitude and accept where you're at. Because if you continue to focus on the cancer, it's going to lead to more cancer. But if you focus on the parts of your body that don't have cancer, then you're going to heal your cancer. So focus on the gratitude. And have self-compassion and care. Self-care and compassion is the only way. So, let's take a deep breath. And take a deep breath out. Let's just bring the energy down. And just reflect on all that you learned today. Taking another deep breath in. And take another deep breath out. And what questions do you guys have? I have about 20 minutes before I have to do a coaching session. I have a coaching call at 12 Eastern Standard Time. So I have about 20 minutes. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll take about 5 minutes for questions. And then we'll go into a meditation. If you guys are not yet following me, please make sure to follow me so you can get all of my up-to-date stuff. Please feel free to check out my course tomorrow. It really will help with abandonment and feel. It's designed for anyone who's going through a breakup, a heartache, any kind of pain and trauma, and you're trying to find your life partner. You're trying to learn to trust again. You're trying to learn to figure out how to heal and how to let go of the resentment and the bitterness. It's for people who are looking to balance the masculine and feminine energies and cultivate more peace. Can you give a quick bulletproof list of the steps? I tuned in a little late. Yes, absolutely. So also, by the way, this will go on YouTube after. So if you missed any of it, feel free to check the find me on YouTube. So some of the steps to practice self-forgiveness is acknowledge your pain. Acknowledge your hurt. That's step one. You can't get anywhere if you don't first see where you're at. Practice self-reflection. Reflect on where you're at, how you felt. Express your emotions. Allow your emotions to be heard. Allow your feelings and your rage and your sadness and your anger and your frustration. Allow it to all be heard. Express it. Cultivate compassion and empathy. Let me know if I'm going too fast. So 1 is acknowledge pain and hurt. 2, practice self-reflection. 3, express your emotions. 4, have empathy and compassion for yourself and the other person by recognizing that hurt people, and whoever hurt you, whoever you feel resentful with, they also felt that whatever you're feeling, most likely they're feeling that as well. Practice forgiveness by, I think I'm losing my voice, by meditation and just using affirmations such as I release my resentment and I choose forgiveness, or any kind of affirmation that works. recognizing that we might not know how to do something, but when we let the universe know that we want to do something, the doors will open that will lead us to how we go about it. Seek support. If you guys need anything, I'm here. I'm support. Message me. I have a few coaching slots left for coaching memberships to really dive deep into wherever your goal and intention is. Also seek support from a therapist or a friend. I'm not a therapist, I'm a coach. I'm goal-oriented. So seek support. Practice self-care. And recognize that you are all you have. Let go of the negative self-talk and the negative self-blame. Cultivate kindness for yourself and acceptance for yourself. Develop a growth mindset. And find inner peace. Thank you. Any other questions, everyone? Anything else, beautiful souls? I'll take about 2 more minutes, and if there's no more questions, I'll lead us in a meditation. Anything else? And if you resonate with anything today and it was worth your time and your value, then feel free to leave a donation of gratitude. I do receive 100% of the donations, so they don't go to Insight Timer, which is super cool. And that goes for all teachers. So thank you guys so much. And please let me know your feedback. All feedback is good feedback. There's no such thing as bad feedback because it helps me to improve. So whether you loved today or you hated today, please let me know so I can become better. I always seek growth. All right, guys. Well, if there's no more questions, I'm just going to lead us into a brief meditation. Nothing too long today. A lot of times we don't forgive because we're in our head. So today I'm going to drop us into our heart. Ooh. Thank you guys so much, by the way. Honestly, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming as you are. I really appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, and I honor you guys, and I see you guys, and I'm the first to tell you that I understand it's not easy, but what I can promise is that it is worthwhile. When we do the work, it's worth it in the end. So, I'm going to start the music. Welcome to today's beautiful forgiveness meditation. In this very brief and quick meditation, you're going to dive deep into forgiveness, love, and peace. So when you're ready, start to close down your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Take a deep breath out. Taking another deep breath in. Taking another deep breath out. And one more deep breath in. And deep breath out. And start to bring into focus, bringing into your mind, someone in your life who you feel the need to forgive. This can be someone you feel resentment towards, anger towards, bitterness for, sadness towards. Bring them into your mind's eye now. See them. And imagine them standing in front of you. As you see them standing in front of you, start to acknowledge whatever it is that you feel. Whether this is sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, feel it. Allow it to be there. And visualize speaking to them, starting with saying, I want or I choose to forgive you. Either I want or I choose to forgive you. You don't need to know how to forgive. Just simply stating it will start the process. I want or choose to forgive you. And start to visualize anything that you need to say to them. Anything that you feel that has not yet been spoken, has not yet been felt or experienced or expressed. And just imagine now saying whatever you need to say to them. And imagine them accepting your words as you accept how you feel. Imagine that they are receiving your pain. They are listening and hearing you. And just start to repeat the Ho'oponopono with me. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Repeating this in your mind out loud. As you repeat this, you are acknowledging that you are forgiving yourself. You are acknowledging the pain and you're letting it go. Recognizing that this person in front of you is not separate from you, but they are you, living a different human experience. Acknowledging that it's you hurting you in another form. Forgive yourself. Choose to love yourself. Choose to free yourself. Choose to let it go. And take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. And just notice how you feel now. Notice the shift. Knowing that you can come back to this prayer. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you at any time. And take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Starting to come back to your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Opening up your eyes. Notice what you can smell. Notice what you can taste. Notice what you can feel. Welcome back, beautiful soul. Welcome back. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today on this beautiful journey of forgiveness, of love, of peace. It is my passion and my honor to serve you guys always. There's no place I'd rather be than right here. If you are interested in any kind of additional love and you want a little bit more love, a little bit more support, helping to overcome these big, huge hurdles of emotions and free yourself from the pain in the past so that you can step into the future version of yourself, reach out to me. You can check out the link in my description or find me in any form, on any platform, Generous Janetti. This live will go on YouTube after. And please, if you're experiencing any kind of heartbreak, hurt, trauma, check out my course, Heal Heartbreak. Find love. I promise, you will not be disappointed. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for showing up today, for being here, and allowing me to give you guys value and support and worthiness. So let's just close on our eyes one more time. Placing your hands on your heart. Taking a deep breath in. Taking a deep breath out. And shaking your body. Shaking. Raising your hand up. Bring your hands down through your third eye. All the way down into your heart. Bowing down with me. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Let me know if you need anything. My inbox is always open. I love you.